Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Hogarth's Global Astrology. Know your planets, know yourself, or know your nation, know yourself. The two are interchangeable. And I must say, you'll see here before I begin, you will see my glass, and you will see something wonderful and sparkling and cold just from the fridge. And the reason why this is cause for celebration. So I said this morning, I'll be going out to do my bit, to hammer the stake through the heart of Count Dracula. Yeah, this is what I said this morning. Just in case you didn't know. So first of all, happy 4th of July to everyone. But this is a particularly happy day in the UK as well, because we had our UK general elections today. The polls closed about an hour ago at 10 p.m. It's currently the July 4th, 2024, and it is 11:05. And the exit polls have come out already. So these aren't the official results. These are the results based on what people said after they left the poll. Yeah, so it's not going to be official. Normally in the UK, we're very, very good at the counting. You have professional teams that literally try and be the fastest, yeah, because it's quite an honor to be the first one to call. And we will know the full results normally around about 4 a.m., 5 in the morning. So after my show, I'm just going to chillax, but so far it's looking like, well, Labour is going to have a big majority. How big it is, we are yet to know. But either way, almost for certain, the Tories are out. Yes, out. And one thing, as I unpeel my wonderfully cool elixir here that I'm about to drink, my little Prosecco, and they've been in power for 14 years, and they have been dreadful. Yeah, they have been dreadful. They have been the architects of Britain's demise. None of their promises, of course, have come true. They are corrupt, rotten, and they are cruel. Yeah, cruel. Very, very cruel. And it seems at last we have thrown them off. Not everyone is particularly that excited about Labour, to be honest, but when you've been just dealing with this dreadfulness for so many years, anyone will do and is better. So I'm going to be, let's get this, see if I can get this open. Oh, there we go. There we go. There we are. Oh, the sweet smell of success. So here's a little toast to Tory ruin, and may they be in the wilderness for many years to come. At the moment, they're projected to have 131 seats based on the exit polls, which really, for me, is way too much. They don't even deserve 100. Yeah, I'd prefer it if it were less than that. But even with 131 seats, this is historically bad for them, probably the worst one in history. Do you remember I said political earthquakes? And we're going to see a lot of this around the world. We are seeing this a lot around the world. So it looks like Labour is in, and then in France, it could be the far right. Remember, they've got their elections, second round elections on Sunday. So I just wanted to raise a toast there, yeah, to change. Let's see how Labour do. No one's got any massive hopes there. No one's naive, but it has to be better than this terrible lot. Basically, as far as I'm concerned, they need to be disemboweled, the Tories, yeah? Hung, drawn, and quartered, then the parts cremated, and then the ashes thrown into a dark and stormy sea, yeah? But, it looks like they might still have enough seats to be the opposition, but hopefully they get even less. I want to say a thank you as well to everyone who has been buying the book, The Candid Guide to Neo-Vedic Astrology. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. The reviews have been wonderful. And, you guys are really enjoying the book and stuff like that. So I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. I really, really appreciate it. If you've not had the chance to have a look yet, check it out, because it's not only going to explain the world, you know, politics, all the stuff that's going on. It will explain your family as well. You'll learn about your brothers, your sisters, your mother, your father, yeah, your relationships, your husband, your wife, you know, if you're watching. I know most of you, you know, well, anyway, it could be anyone's wife. All of these things, your children, yeah, your daughters, your sons, all of that stuff, all in there. And of course, you know, as I've been saying, you know, before I start the show, I've been talking a lot about magic, haven't I? I've been talking a lot about alchemy, this Pluto in Capricorn. How, yes, the energies are heavy. Yes, it is feeling difficult. But remember, Capricorn is also about what? Government. Government. Yeah. Saturn is retrograde. He started to go retrograde on the 29th of June. Yeah. And whenever a planet is retrograde, whatever it represents, so Saturn represents government, infrastructure, rules, regulations, traditions, the standard way of doing things. It means review, revise, reassess. So do you see that in the politics? Everything is reviewing, revising, reassessing. The Tories are one of the oldest political parties in history, and they're known as one of the most successful parties. And it's looking like this may be their worst result ever in history. Yeah, at least going back to the 1800s, they said, possibly even further. So anyway, no tears lost on that one. Labour have obviously got a lot to do. I hope people aren't going to have unrealistic expectations of them. And if they don't do well, they'll be turfed out at the next election as well. But one thing I'll add before I continue, the independent parties or the smaller parties have also done well. The Liberal Democrats have done very well. I said they would do great. Yeah. At the moment, they're projected to get 61 seats with their maximum being 62. I hope they get a few more, actually. Even Reform have done well. Controversial, yeah, more on the far right, etc. But, you know, like I said, that Pluto in Capricorn does deal with that element as well. But it looks like the Greens might get 2 seats. The Independents have done well as well. So there's a lot of the change in the political landscape here in the UK, and it's wonderful. So we'll see how it goes. All right, let's begin. Also, as well, forgive me before I forget. Don't forget, I have my next retreat is happening in Costa Rica. Let me just do a quick screen share. Forgive me. Let's do share screen just to scroll through so you can see Costa Rica. Let's do share screen, and then I'm going to read through some of your comments. It's just a relief. And you know what? When I woke up this morning, I could feel the energy shift. I really could feel the energy shift. So here we are, Costa Rica. Here we are, January 25th to the 30th, very close to San Jose, and it's in Sarapiqui. And you can see there's all this stuff here. You got all the toucans. This is the introductory offer and all of that kind of stuff. It's actually a lot cheaper than Santa Fe, believe it or not. Let's just see what other photos they've got here. Oh, c'est moi, of course. And let's see, look, we've got lovely toucans. Look, all of this. It's all there in the forest, everything. And look, all of this kind of stuff. So there's the spirituality. Look, you've got the beautiful, and then obviously yoga. Here you've got, you know, all of the stuff for, you know, yoga retreats, etc. All of these wonderful things. So there's all of that going on. And what else do we have here? Look, that's the whole spiel. Obviously, I'll be teaching as well. So look, the trip activities, Pozo Azor waterfall, guided forest therapy session, chocolate tour. Oh my God, I can't wait for that. Guided night walk, organic farm tour, and Finica what's that? Eco Organica Sarapiqui. And then San Jose sightseeing tour. And then I'll be teaching as well. So you can see Neo-Vedic Astrology explained, how it's different from tropical Western, day 1. Star signs and nakshatras, how they reveal the mystery and the quirks of your life. Then the next one, how to read and interpret a chart. the Dasha sequence and its influence on timing of life's events. So I'll be teaching you how to read charts as well. And then fame, infamy, and global news, how the planets create prominent people and historical events. So, you know, there you are. You can get stuck into that. I know it's a few days away, a few months away, but this is a great, wonderful winter retreat, as you can imagine, because in the Northern Hemisphere, it's going to be freezing. If you're in from New York, you know, Massachusetts, up that lot, oh my gosh, you know, it's just never ending. So there's all this stuff. You got all the dinners included. We'll be staying at KC Hotel San Jose, etc. All of this different kind of stuff. So you see breakfast, transfers, Posa Azul, waterfall, etc. Let's stop the share there. So it's all there on my website as well. So links in the video description below, and of course as well to books and all of that stuff. Let's see who is in the house. So Nunya is saying, way to go, England. Yes, or Britain rather, but yes, definitely. Tories are out. Yeah. Mona Rogers saying, I felt wonderful today when I woke up as well. It was so light. It was just like it was like it was in the zeitgeist. It's like everyone had chosen, we want rid of them. And let's see here. So Mona says, I also asked for prayers for the MAGA cult and the rest. What better way to spread positives for President Joe Biden? Yes, I wish him the best. He's having a bit of a fight now, isn't he? He's having a bit of a fight. A lot of people are kind of calling for him. Let's see if he endures. You know, do you remember the cards I got? And so when gosh, what was it? It was it last? I can't remember, but I did a reading. And Joe Biden came up in the reading, and I thought it was him. And then I reflected later. I was like, was it also Gavin Newsom? But anyway, whoever it is, but let's assume it's Joe Biden. He had the 9 of Wands in the middle, which is the bit what he's in now. The 9 of Wands is feeling embattled, having to fight. But then the last cards were positive. So they say these next few days are going to be what kind of seals it. But also as well, one has to be realistic. What's the alternative? What's the alternative? So anyway, that is up in the ether. He is having some challenges. He's going through his Saturn Dasha, and he's also getting Saturn opposition as well. But it's not easy for Duc L'Orange either. So, you know, interesting stuff. Oh, someone says here, it's a great book. Oh, thank you. Thank you. It's all been 5 stars. It's been astonishing. What's this? We will take a Labour win, but maybe like Dems is the future. Oh, I'm not sure if I understand that. But no, Labour have won. It just depends on how much. Here we are. LR72 says, amazing result. Looking on from Australia, hope reversing child poverty and rejoining the EU are next. Yes, we will have to see. Labour have played this sort of middle ground, pardon me, where they're saying for now that, you know, they're not going back into the EU. But listen, the economy is not doing so great. Yeah, it's not so hot. If they're projected to have a huge majority, huge. Could be the same again as what Tony Blair had. It might even be bigger. And they'll be able to pretty much do what they want, at least in the first year. So let's see, because they will have a mandate. Jeffrey Stein saying, absolutely, Shari from the Voices from the Swamp. Oh, so Shari must be here. Oh, here we are. Stories by the Numbers. Hello, hello, hello. Says, hello, hola, Ogie, cheers. All right. Hello there, Stories by the Numbers. Oh, someone here is saying, got mine. Thank you, Maxine. Now, and someone's saying here, but we should focus on love, right? Yes, focus on love, but also transmutation. Use these energies. Yeah, you can, even though it's a bit dark and a bit scary right now, remember, you can tap into this. This is so much of why I wrote the books as well, is just to give people access to this, to understand the higher energies, how they work. As dark as Pluto is, don't forget the positives, which is mea culpa. It's also transformation, alchemy. Go out and be an active participant in saving your democracy. Yeah, for those in the United States. Anyway, let's begin. So, where am I? So I got the questions in here. Got the questions in. So here we are. So Nick Minx has asked, what's the energy like around Farage and Sunak tomorrow after the results come in? Yeah. So I'll read that. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious. Farage is going to be cock-a-hoop. He's going to be very happy. He's projected to get about 13 seats, which is a lot from nothing. And of course, Rishi Sunak will probably be crying into his Weetabix. But let's take a look. And then we're going to be looking at, there's a UN Palestine question. Then we're going to be looking at the Heritage Foundation. Then we're going to be looking at social media posts by Dr. Ronge. And then who Dr. Ronge's VP might be. So stay tuned. Yeah, stay tuned to the end. All right. What's the energy like around Farage and Sunak tomorrow after the results come in? All right. So let's do the cards for Farage. Let's do the cards for Farage. I would have moved my laptop down, but I mean the whole thing. Oh, more of this, lovely. Oh, delicia. All right. See what the energy's like for Farage. Old Farage bag. All right, let's have a look. What's the energy like for Farage? Oh, he'd be elated, I'm sure. I can even just feel that already, but let's see what the cards say. Oh, Farage. See what cards he gets. Do. Oh, look at this. Interesting. All right. So Farage. So looky here. He's feeling strong. Obviously, Farage is feeling strong. According to the exit polls, it could be more, it could be less, but he's projected to get about 13, 14 seats in the teens. So this is an incredibly strong showing considering he had nothing, yeah, a mere few weeks ago. So he's obviously feeling great, yeah, feeling strong. If we look here, we get another major arcana card and he gets the Fool. Now, this isn't the literal Fool in this sense. He's actually quite an intelligent person, even though he's on the far right. He is a talented politician and he has skills. Yeah, he can make political weather, as they say. So this is the leap of faith, isn't it, for reform? He's going to have potentially 13 MPs, 13. Yeah, and remember, like that, Farage has never once been able to actually become an MP for the UK. He's been an MEP, but in the 8 times previously he's attempted, he's always failed. So I think it's been 8 times lucky for him. Now he's got 13. Yeah, so they're like buses. They've all kind of shown up. So he's basically looking out into the future, you know, and this kind of with optimism, wanting to take that leap of faith. However, there's a slight fly in the ointment here, so there is going to be a little bit of heartache for Farage. So maybe it could be, for example, there might be some more scandals and stuff when it comes to the actual candidates themselves. Some of them have actually been caught saying very kind of unpleasant or racist things, etc. All of this stuff. So that remains to be seen how that kind of goes forward. But nonetheless, this is also a reflection of people's unhappiness as well with certain things, particularly in the UK in regard to immigration and the like. So I'm thinking that he's obviously feeling positive, but there might be a little bit of heartache. However, look at this. We have the Ace of Pentacles. So again, this is a yes card, a very positive card. They'll probably be able to start raising significant funds, etc., because now they've actually got MPs. They're essentially a legitimate party now. And then if we look here, the outcome card is the King of Pentacles. So this is Farage sitting pretty. This can also talk as well about Dr. Ronge, because let's not forget, they're besties. Farage and Dr. Ronge, you know, they're very close. And if anything, you never know, they might even be, you know, you might even be getting a little bit of money coming from the Americas. But in general, he, of course, is happy. Look at those cards. Apart from the Three of Swords in the middle, he's got the Strength, the Fool, Ace of Pentacles, King of Pentacles. Those are good cards. So he's going to be feeling good. Pretty obvious. Let's take a look now at Rishi Sunak to see how he's going to be feeling. I've got to look after my voice. I must remember to breathe and open the vocal cords. I'm taking singing lessons again, so I'm trying to look after la voce. But I just get so excited with these shows, and it's a busy day, Thursdays. I do have my clients. So I'd like to take a moment to say a shout out to Sherilyn, Nora, and Julie. You know who you are. Mwah. All right, let's have a look. Let's see how Rishi's doing. Yeah, Rishi. See what cards he gets. Wouldn't surprise me if there's the Devil here, or the Tower, or maybe the Eight of Cups. I'm sure it's going to be something with the cups spilt all over. Could be even the Moon. Let's have a look. Don't want to presume too much. Let's pull this down. Let's see. What's Rishi got? Ooh! Oh, there's the Moon. Interesting. Very interesting. All right. First of all, he gets the Sun. Do you know what this tells me? I think Rishi is relieved. Relieved. Yeah, relieved. But it's also the ultimate reality check as well, because the Sun is a positive card, but it means illumination, enlightenment. Yeah, it's very, very clear, abundantly clear that the Tories have lost. But I think this is also kind of a relief for him, because he's almost like, well, I'm free now. Let's see how long he sticks around as Labour. But my instinct is that this is relief. If we look here, the next card here, you've got the King of Wands, which talks about, you know, entrepreneurship, leadership, etc., all of this kind of stuff. But it's turned up in the obstacle position. Yeah. So he's the leader of the Tory party for now, but maybe not for much longer. Yeah. You know what it's like with the Tories. I mean, they're ruthless. It's like piranha. It's like piranha with them. Yeah. They, you know, that can be useful in politics, a little bit of ruthlessness, but, you know, but he may not be leader for much longer because it's turning up in the obstacle position. If we look here, there's going to be a lot of soul searching, bit of subterfuge, a bit of quiet counsel going on, probably him having a chat with his family and all of this kind of stuff. But there could also be secret plots as well to oust him. Yeah, and we see a little lobster coming out here showing there's a potential surprise. So, you know, after the results come in, you know, the Tories will be, you know, sharpening their daggers as usual. I mean, I hope they come in third. I actually hope the exit polls are wrong and it's more generous than it actually is. I'll be hoping for them to get less than 100. But the night is young. It's not really going to be known until about 5 a.m. Anyway, if we look here, things are going to start moving rapidly for Rishi. Yeah. So that could be him being kicked out, or maybe him just looking for different opportunities. Remember, this is also an entrepreneurial card. He might actually just go off on holiday. This is also dealing with flying. Yeah. And then his outcome card is the Empress. Wow. So in this context, I don't think it's really giving Russian vibes here. I think this is more about his fertile future, because you know what it's like with these prime ministers. They go on the speaking tours. He's a billionaire anyway. He's married to a billionaire heiress. And I think this is him, because if we look here, top and tail, we've got the Sun here, given the full illumination, but relief. People will probably consider that he put in a decent fight, even though it was a dreadful campaign. But I think his future is better off outside of politics. I think he's going to get lucrative deals in other countries, other places, you know, becomes a hedge fund manager or something like that, which is what usually, you know, most rich people in politics do. So there we are. Farage is buoyant. I think Sunak is relieved. All right, let's go to the next question. Let's scroll down and see who else is here. Yeah, someone's saying, buried that stake deep. Yes, Count Dracula is dead. How? I mean, whether or not he can regenerate himself is we'll have to see. Congrats to the UK. Thank you. So let's see here. I've been posting all over the place for everyone to calm down and don't believe the bad they are hearing about President Biden. It's all conspiracy theories from MAGA cult and Russia, to name a few. Maybe, but look, you got to understand, this is actually coming from the Democrats. Actually, it is actually coming from them. I mean, obviously, you know, MAGA and the Russia obviously will be happy at that. Let's see what happens. Yeah, let's see what happens in the next week. He's got a lot to prove, but if he comes out and he has positive performances, because remember my card showed that he had to fight. Yeah, I said he's gonna have to fight, and so he's gonna have to fight for the next few weeks. But if he's able to assuage concerns, then of course he'll continue. But I don't think we should be entertaining it, because this stuff, I've been watching a lot of the news cycle and a lot of the news channels, and it is Democrats saying this stuff, and it's Democrat donors as well. So, you know, we can't just slip into conspiracy theory the second we hear something we don't like. So this is actually coming from the Democrats. But if Biden can fight, put in some good performances, then maybe he might get through. Yeah. But the next week is critical. Yeah, I think we can all agree on that. Anyway, I just have to keep it real. Sorry. And let's just see here who else is in. And then lots of, what's this kind of here? Sounds amazing. Sadly, I'm broke. Can't pay attention. Oh, bless you. Bless you. Yeah, it's all ups and downs and all that kind of stuff. And then Julie saying exit poll show a massive landslide for Labour. Yes, it will be, but we'll have to see how big. All right, now look, we've got a question that's come in. Let's have a look. So this has come in, Nick Minks again, and we've got some questions from others as well. So it says here, Palestinians and the UN have criticized an anti-settlement watchdog. And an anti-settlement watchdog says Israel's largest seizure of land in the occupied bank in more than 3 decades. So yeah, I've kind of made a bit of sense of that. Will there ever be a time that Israel has to return or pay compensation? I would say unlikely. But let's just see. Because obviously with all the political stuff, isn't it? It's almost the Gaza-Palestine conflict has not been as prominent in the news. I would just really hope for a ceasefire and just the end to it's just carnage now, isn't it? Carnage. But let's just see. Let's answer that question. Let's see. Situation. Israel. Let's have a look. Yeah, so Israel. Let's have a look. And then we've got a question about the Heritage Foundation and some other stuff about Duck L'Orange. So let's have a little look. See. Oh, interesting. All right, so if we look here, now this is interesting. We got the Hierophant here. So the Hierophant deals with established norms, protocol, but this is also to do with religion as well. So I think there's going to be a big support, just in general with, this is also can do with religious orthodoxy, etc., and stuff like that. So I think this is the more orthodox side, as it were. Because the question was, will there be compensation? I don't think so, because here we can literally see the orthodoxy. This can represent the church or or Islam or Judaism, etc. It's the establishment, yeah, the establishment. So that looks like it's in support of. If we look here in the obstacle position, we have got the Page of Pentacles, and you see here, all pages deal with messages, and of course, Page of Pentacles can deal with money, but this is a small amount of money. So maybe not. Maybe not. I doubt if there'll be compensation. If there is, it might be a tiny bit. In the middle here, we've got the Nine of Pentacles. So, of course, this deals with having everything that you need, wealth and abundance and stuff like that. So maybe that's more what Netanyahu is focused on right now. That's what that would suggest in terms of that. We also have business and entrepreneurship showing up here as well. This could be Netanyahu himself, actually. You know, the fiery firebrand, you know, the leader, etc. and stuff like that. And it looks like he's moving forward at great pace. Yeah, the Chariot. Or let me cover the boobies. The Chariot. So he's not holding back. He's not holding back. And I think, no, if there is compensation, it's going to be a tiny bit. So I just have to say what I see. Say what I see. All right. Now let's look at the next question. Let me keep drinking. Oh, lovely. I've not had Prosecco in a little while. Let's cross that one off. All right, now let's talk about the Heritage Foundation. Yeah, Heritage. Let's talk about the Heritage Foundation. Oh, someone else is reacting. He said he's running. He'll make a comeback, and I'm sick of people trying to oust him. Yeah, Newsom was great. So there we are. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, let's see. Let's see if he holds on. But because obviously the person before was asking, you know, is it MAGA? Is it that lot trying to push him out? No, actually, it is. This is actually coming from the Democrats. So you've noticed they've actually just stepped back and they're just watching the whole fight thing happen, which is exactly what they want, you know. Let's see here. So US can do it too. Yes. And then Big Steph 3 saying, screw the media hysteria, Biden Harris for 2024. Fingers crossed. Yeah, there is a bit of hysteria. What they need to focus on, and I can understand the hysteria to an extent as well, what's happened. But for me, like when we talk about Project 25, I'm sure you guys would agree with me. That aspect has been underreported. As you know, I've been talking about them for a while. I've been dropping it in here and there, and I've been like, we need to look at those people over there. And it's kind of, it's just part of the media world that we're in, which is all based on frenzy, yeah, and clicks. So it wasn't click worthy, in my opinion, in terms of the mainstream media, for them to talk about the Heritage Foundation and stuff like that, because it seemed a bit dry. But for me, that was always one of the biggest stories, because their agenda, I don't know if you guys have seen it, their agenda, it is terrifying what they've got planned. And then we've seen what's happened with SCOTUS. Yeah. Anyway, so let's get into that question actually. So let's look here. So this is coming from Denise Ferguson. Thank you, Denise, for your question. And thank you to everyone else who submitted as well. The Heritage Foundation is the author of Project 2025. A leader from the Heritage Foundation, so Kevin Roberts, yeah, did a live interview where he made the following statement. The second American Revolution will be bloodless if the left allows it to be. What is the future of Project 25? So look, this is giving you guys a heads up already of what these guys are all about. Now, to MSNBC's credit, about a week ago, they interviewed this guy and they asked him about Project 2025 and stuff like that. And he was very clear with it. I mean, he didn't mention, you know, the death camps so much, which is also what they've got planned. But you could see, and one of the things, you know what was very obvious to me? He barely blinked. And I'll tell you this little tip. Apparently, psychopaths, one of the easiest ways to tell them is that they don't blink very much. You know, they're very, very wide-eyed, and, you know, and they talk like this and the blah, blah, blah. And, you know, the thingy bob's moving and the face is moving and the eyes are always staying this kind of, you watch, you know, nut case. Yeah, we're talking like these people, they're not even cray cray, they're cra cra. Yeah. So let's see, what's the question? What is the future of Project 2025? And things I'd even ask Shakespeare what he thinks of them. Let me get my Shakespeare. Let's get the bard on this as well. All right, Spirit, what is the future of 2025? If they get rubbish cards, then we know they don't have a future. If they get fabulous cards, then we might have to watch out. And if it's mediocre in the middle, it could be 50-50. So let's see. Let's see. Project 25. What's the energy of Project 2025? And please don't forget as well to like and subscribe and share and click the bell notification so you know when I've got my videos up. And if you've got any questions about anything, it's in the video description below. All right, let's see their future. Hopefully their cards are dismal, but as you know, I just say what I see. As you know, just meat and vegetables here, guys, with a little drizzle of honey, of course, and some vinegar. Oh, look at this. Bloody hell. Oh. All right. Look, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This is a little bit worrying. Yeah, this is a little bit worrying because remember the question now was what is the future of Project 2025? Yeah, and they were talking about, Kevin Roberts was talking about the Second American Revolution will be bloodless if the left allows it to be. Oh my God. All right, this is what we get. Nine of Pentacles, which we saw come out in the previous reading. They are feeling like they are sitting pretty. Yeah, this is the card of having all of the resources that you need, all of the resources at your disposal. Now, look, that makes sense, doesn't it, for the Heritage Foundation and Project 2025, because they are supported by billionaires. So there's no lack of money there, no lack of money. And I think they're feeling quite confident, actually. Again, I have to say what I see. Yeah. If we look here, in the obstacle position, we have got the Knight of Pentacles. Now, this is the slow and steady knight, the loyal knight, yeah? But the shadow interpretation of this can be the mercenary, yeah? So what this says to me is they've got plenty of money and they've got their mercenaries lined up. That's probably why they've got the Supreme Court allowing the butt stop thing on the guns. I know that's terrifying, but look, we have to deal with reality, isn't it? We know what their plan is, yeah? So they've got the funding in place, they're feeling secure, and they've got their mercenaries. However, there is disagreement, there is discord. They've not fully coordinated themselves yet. This, I think, is the election, yeah? I think this is the election, and I think they're going to try and cause as much trouble, of course, as they can. They want discord. They want people fighting. They want to cause a fight. Yeah, you can see, look, all these people are fighting. In regards to what? Four of Wands, the White House. Yeah, they're trying to create this the tensions, the wildness, all of the crazy stuff in regards to, look, the White House. Yeah, you can see that, well, many of us interpret this card as the White House when we're doing political readings. Yeah. And then their outcome card is the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah. When it's reversed, the little demon's on top and it can imply bad luck. But when it's the right way up, it can mean there might be a bit luckier here, yeah? So they're probably feeling quite buoyant. So basically, whatever happens with Biden is going to have a direct impact. And this is why this thing is so crucial with what is happening here. It's so crucial. But look, I have to say what I see. Look, that's the card that they get as their outcome. So they're probably feeling a bit luckier, aren't they? They're probably feeling a bit luckier because, the Dems are tearing themselves apart. There we are. As you know, I just have to say what I see. Keep it real and true. All right. let's go. Let's have a click through and see what's going on here. So the red hat cat says, as a Swede, I congratulate the British on the amazing results. Refreshing. Thank you. And then hello from South Carolina, Kelly N. Let's see. Let's have a look. So Mona Rogers said, we've been hearing good news about President Biden in the past couple of days. Showed finally that the Dem governors are backing him and more commercials are coming out against Duck L'Orange. Yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, there's still a fight here. Like, you saw the cards that the Heritage Foundation just got. Do you know what I mean? This is like serious stuff. Let's see here. CNN has lost a great amount of their audience, and Time Magazine has been getting subscriptions cancelled because of calling for Biden to step down. Yeah, I can understand that. Ultimately, it's up to him. But the cards that I got, it showed he had to fight, and then the two other cards were good. So it's all in this week. It's all in this week. It's all in this week. Basically, we'll have to see how it goes. But while the fight is going on within the Dems, of course, what are the GOP doing? And they're not being focused on the news as well. I mean, Steve, like, I heard Steve Bannon went to jail this week. Did we even hear a peep about that? Went to jail. And apparently, what's his name? Dr. Dribblehead, the Trump's former lawyer who didn't get paid, and he had the black hair dye coming down. Giuliani, apparently he's been disbarred. Didn't hear a word of it anyway. So let's see. And someone's saying here, tell the moral statesmen to leave the race and not the convicted felon rapist business fraud with 54 indictments outstanding. I know. It's just, it's just a tricky one. Someone's saying that their buffering is too bad. We'll watch later. Yeah, catch me later if you're having buffering issues. And thank you to Suburban Housewife for your donation. Much appreciated. And thank you, Christmas Angel, as well, for your donation. Thanks so much. Right, let's get on into the rest of the content. So now we're going Duck L'Orange. Am I? Yes. Here we are. Another one for Nick Minks. Ooh, there's over 500 of you here now. Thank you so much for joining me. Much appreciated. Big love. All right, so if we look here. A social media post made by the Orange Felon indicated that he has either had someone bugged or has an insider in Biden meetings. Ooh. Will this be discovered to be true? And if so, unlikely as it is, could he be charged for espionage? Well, think of what the Supreme Court have just given him. Yeah. Well, I say him, the office of the presidency. Look, if I were Biden, use those powers. Use them. Use those new powers. I know that would be very controversial, and I know the Dems want to play nice, but these people are, he's dealing with a crook. Yeah, he's dealing with a crook. He's dealing with a convicted felon. So, but that's my take. Maybe a little bit radical. Let's see what fell out. Interesting. Look at that. Four of Swords, wounded in battle, fatally wounded in battle. Will this be discovered if to be true? Let's just read a few more cards. Who's the one that's fatally wounded, though? That's the key. Let me read that again. A social media post made by the Orange Felon, so made by Dr. Orange, Trump, indicated he has either had someone bugged or has an insider in Biden's meetings. Will this be discovered to be true? And if so, unlikely as it is, could he be charged for espionage? Wow. And the Four of Swords came up. Let's see. energy around that. Just saying. Does he have someone in the meetings? Look at that. Ah! Ah! Look! She's back again. Oh my God. Look, you can see how the cards are repeating themselves. My gosh. Look, you saw how thoroughly I shuffled, didn't you guys? Look at this. The star comes up. Now, you know, I've got to cover the boobies. You know, I associate the star with Duck L'Orange. Yeah. He gets a few cards. The devil, you know, the star, King of Pentacles. Yeah. But I often refer to this as the shadow interpretation of this star as the narcissist. So here's Duck L'Orange in the spotlight, wanting to get all that attention. Yeah, that's him. But if we look here, we've got the Wheel of Fortune comes out next. Now, normally you would interpret why in the 5-card spread, you could interpret this as the obstacle position and it being reversed. But if the first card is positive, it stays as it is. And the star is a very positive card. So he's feeling like the wind is behind him. I mean, why wouldn't he? Look, everyone's talking about Biden, aren't they? If we look here, the 9 of Pentacles comes back. Is that the 3rd time I've pulled her tonight? Guys, I think that's the 3rd time she's come up after intense shuffling. So this is also saying as well, look, Trump has got, you know, it's got a lot of money behind him and he can obviously pay people to be on the inside. Yeah, because the shadow of this card can also deal with bribery. It can mean being bought, or it can literally deal with that, you know, prostitute energy or the corruption, being bought. So maybe he's paid. Yeah, maybe he's paid someone off. Oh my God, I need a bit more of my Prosecco for this. Gee whiz. As you know, I just read the cards, guys. I just read the cards. Let me just pour myself a bit more of this Prosecco. Oh, down with the Tories. If we look here, the next card is the 6 of Swords. Moving to smoother waters, etc., stuff like that. I think this is what? An attempt, obviously, to get Biden to move on. Yeah, so if we put this together, yeah, look what fell out. The 4 of Swords, someone wounded in battle, fatally wounded, or the ending of something, yeah, being retired, literally, you can see. That's the intention. Who's doing it? Duck L'Orange is there in the background. He feels like fortune is on his side, particularly with how everyone, with all the hand-wringing over Biden, yeah? He's used some of his campaign money and funds, etc., donations coming in, so there's been plenty of that, as has been widely reported. But this could also be the poor person that he's bought off, who is, oh, what's happened? I've frozen a bit. Oh, don't mess up now. Come on, computer. Jesus Christ. All right, here we go. Sorry, it's the energy, my energy, forgive me. Wanting to make someone leave, yeah, move to smoother waters, yeah, trying to get, you know. And then we got the White House back again. So trying to get someone to what? Vacate the White House, or for him to get in. So there may be some truth in that, because you know Duck L'Orange can't shut up to save his life. He can't shut up to save his life. I think there might be some truth in that, folks. Yeah, maybe he has actually bought someone off in the inner circle or somewhere close. Yeah, I've just got to say what I see. That's what those cards suggest to me. Oh gosh, intriguing, eh? Intriguing. All right. So there's that. Let's do, oh, I forgot to do Shakespeare on the Heritage Foundation. Let's see what Shakespeare thinks of the Heritage Foundation. I must try and save my voice a bit. What does the Bard think of the Heritage Foundation? This is really interesting. So, all right. So this is what the first page says, and this is from Henry IV, Part 1. This is what the Bard has to say. Splud, you starveling, you elf skin, you dried neat's tongue, you bull's pizzle, you stockfish. Oh, for breath to utter what is like thee, thou tailor's yard, you sheath, you bow case, you vile standing tuck. Wow. And then on the next page, and this is from Troilus and Cressida, it says, bastard begot, bastard instructed, bastard in mind, in everything illegitimate. The Bard never fails. Yeah, the Bard never fails. That's his thoughts on, you know, the Heritage Foundation. Yeah, quite scathing, eh? Anyway, let's look on the last question here. So Barbara Almeida has asked, hi, Hogarth, could you look at the cards to see if Trump will pick a VP? Thank you. Now, my reaction to that is like, well, of course, he has to, but let's just see. I think rather he will, obviously, he has to pick a VP. And he'll need, obviously, a running mate before, you know, he's going to obviously pick one maybe around the convention, yeah, which is happening. What is it? Is it the, what is it? When is it happening? It's soon, isn't it? The convention, the GOP convention. I think it's next week. By the way, I think it's going to be Uranus and Mars, or Uranus, definitely. It could be Uranus and Mars will be conjunct the star Agol around that time, which is known as Medusa's head. And it's a very, it's known as a demon star. So we'll have to see. It's also associated with decapitation, losing your head, or losing your temper, losing your mind. Or it could be to do as well. Doesn't he have his sentencing coming up soon as well? So yeah, watch out. So around at that time, but we certainly have Uranus conjunct Agol right now, because Uranus is hovering around 1 degree of sidereal Taurus, which is where Agol sits, which sits at, I think it's at 2 to 3 degrees, something like that. So by later on in July, the planets will probably have moved right onto that star. So we've got to watch out for things. Could be some explosive stuff. All right. The VP. Duck Larange's VP. What's the energy there? Duck Larange's VP. What's the energy around the person? As you know, I pick with my eyes closed. Let's see what the energy. Let's see if the 9 of Pentacles comes back yet again. Wouldn't that be hilarious? Oh, oh, different cards this time. Different cards. This is interesting. Very interesting. Out in the cold. Now, this is interesting, isn't it, when we're talking about Duck Larange's VP? What this says to me is that for him, I think his VP is almost irrelevant. Yeah, it's just a box-ticking exercise. Because I think it's actually a lot more about Project 25, to be honest. To be honest. Let me just see here, 1 minute. Oh, come on, computer, don't mess up. Got a donation that just came in. Thank you, Bronx Sage. I need a t-shirt with all your nicknames for these dodos. Yeah, I'm sure actually a Duck Larange t-shirt will probably sell quite well, wouldn't it? mind you, it's a lot of text, isn't it? My nickname for Marjorie Taylor Greene, which is leaky douchebag blowhard. But, you know, I'm sure I can figure out ways to get that on a T-shirt potentially. Anyway, so look, so out in the cold, poverty, lack of success, illness. Yeah, illness. Doesn't necessarily mean Dr. Larange is going to be ill, because the question is about the VP. So it's almost like the VP is an afterthought. Yeah, he's not going to be part of the inner sanctum, I think, for Dr. Larange. If we look here, we've got the Queen of Swords, but turning up in the obstacle position. So when it's the right way up, this card can talk about sameness of mind, clarity, sharpness, intelligence, getting things done, and of course, legalities. But technically, this is turning up in the obstacle position, particularly because the first card wasn't positive. So when it's this way, this can deal with mean-spiritedness, pettiness, and spite. Yeah, which we know that Dr. Larange is very fond of. So whoever is going to be his VP, I don't think they're going to enjoy it very much. It's going to be a massive balancing act. Yeah, it's going to be a massive balancing act. Because obviously Dr. Larange, whoever he chooses, he needs to have a balancing act in regards to, look here, we have got the King of Cups, which we know in politics is very much the Biden card. So do you see, Dr. Larange is trying to weigh things up in regards to Joe Biden, yeah, in terms of picking his VP. He obviously wants to try and pick the most damaging person possible. And then here we have the Three of Pentacles, which again is about cooperation, working with others. But because we're talking about Dr. Larange, this can also speak as well about corruption. Yeah, what's going on here? Do you know what? I think there's a lot of action. I'm breaking up a little bit. I think there's a lot of action tonight, this evening, particularly as well because of UK elections. So, you know, anyway, I'll wrap this up very soon. 590 of you here. But in the darker context, this can deal with corruption. So isn't this interesting? Particularly in light of the previous question. Two of Pentacles can also talk about manipulation as well. Three of the cards here are to do with Pentacles. I think as well, when it comes to his VP, the VP is never going to be part of the inner circle, but it's about their fundraising ability as well. Yeah, their ability to raise funds. Yeah, their ability to raise funds is also a big aspect, because obviously they want to defeat, you know, Biden. But this person, whoever he picks, is, or it could just be that the person is an outsider, someone who's maybe been cast aside. He might pick someone unusual that no one expects. Yeah, he might pick an outsider, someone who's been cast out. Well, I mean, they're all pretty much outcasts anyway, isn't it, if they want to go with Dr. Larange? But I will leave it there on that one. So, and also it seems like my feed is breaking up a little bit. I hope you guys found that interesting. Please, of course, don't forget to like and subscribe. I hope you like those readings. I know some of them were a bit, yeah. But as you know, I just say what I see. And I feel it's best to be neutral in these things because that gives the best read. In terms of Biden, we'll have to see how this week goes for him. But and it's for the Democrats to kind of sort themselves out. Yes, it's basically either put up or shut up, really, because the longer this kind of goes on, it's not helping the situation, isn't it? So it needs to be kind of clear, whatever it is. But you can see Dr. Larange, obviously, he's feeling good about things. Why wouldn't he? Because obviously this has been a godsend, you know, for him. But it's not over yet. It's not over yet. So much can still happen between now and the conventions. And we need to watch out as well for the sentencing as well. We need to see what happens there. And thank you, Phil, for your donation. We have to see what happens with Duck Laurent. She's probably going to get community service, orange jumpsuit or something. They'll probably defer it to after the election or what have you. If he does go to prison, I mean, that would be extraordinary, wouldn't it? Because they're not expecting it to carry. But you never know. We're going to have planets conjunct the star Agol around that time. So we'll have to watch this space. Thank you again to everyone who, of course, you know, got the book. Thank you so much. The reviews have been fabulous. Get stuck in if you want to understand all of this stuff, the world of mundane astrology, but also of family and stuff like that. And if you want to join me in either Santa Fe or Costa Rica, then of course the details are in the video description below. I'll leave it there for now. I'll try and rest la voce. And I will see all of you, obviously, on Hogely on Saturday. Mwah! Big love for now, and I'll see you all soon. Thanks so much, everyone, for joining me. Yeah, it was a lot of you, almost 600 of you in the end. Thanks so much. Cheers.